Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. From the Nigerian Immigration Training School in Kano State, Dennis at Dignoye, NTA News.
300 unemployed graduates selected in Niger State have been trained on agriculture and agro-allied businesses by FADAMA 3 additional financing in line with the federal government's Green Alternative Agricultural Promotion Policy. Olayonju Oriyomi reports.
The third National FADAMA Development Project initiated the Graduate Unemployed Youth and Women Agropreneur Support Program, FADAMA Guys. 300 graduates selected across Niger State were trained for 2 weeks in various agricultural productions to develop their interest in agriculture and reduce the high rates of unemployed graduates. The candidates were absorbed into Federal University of Technology, Mina, Ibrahim Babangida University, Lapai, and the Niger State College of Agriculture, Mokwa, to acquire technical and practical skills in agriculture and entrepreneurship that will give them the opportunity to partake in value chain programs.
The World Bank, whenever a good project is implemented, they always want to replicate and upscale it.
We have the machinery on the ground that once you benefit from FADAMA, we'll give you 1 or 2 weeks, then we'll begin to monitor you.
We will continue to partner with the state agencies, both federal and state government, to fashion out other youth employment schemes.
I have learned how to go into fishing, generally how to do hatchery.
23 states are to benefit from the program. Olayonju Oriyomi, NTA News.
Soccer comes the way of VVF patients in Jigawa State. Zulay brings us details of this and other stories from our Kaduna Network Center. Good to see you, Zulay.
Good evening and welcome to Kaduna. The Nigerian Air Force is partnering with Israeli military to build a special force that will respond efficiently to security challenges in an air environment. Ahmed Mohammed Usman reports that 450 airmen and women have been carefully selected to undergo the training, which will hold in 3 batches.
I inaugurate you individually and collectively as students of Special Forces Course 1. Flagging off the first batch of the Special Forces Course 1, the special guest of honor, Air Vice Marshal Samson Okon Apasa, said the country is faced with contemporary security challenges of insecurity, militancy, oil theft, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and other vices, hence the need for a robust counterforce to respond to any emergency. Before now, most of the things we were doing were mostly conventional because of the approach or doctrine before the emergence of insurgency in this country and militancy. But it became necessary that we build capacities in things like special forces to be able to counter the militancy and insurgency, which is on the unconventional side of military operations. The director of training from Israel, Reza Chut, said he is encouraged by the student enthusiasts. The Air Force soldiers, I must say, have great potential, and we are really looking forward for this course. But the first week was very successful, and we are very, very happy from what we saw. The training lasts for 3 months. In Kaduna, Hamad Mahmoud Usman, NTA News.
Still on the Air Force, graduates of the Air Force Institute of Technology have been challenged to acquire their technical knowledge in implementing the federal government's drive to domesticate the fabrication of spare parts and maintenance of aircraft. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, gave this challenge while conferring diploma and higher diplomas on the graduates of the Nigerian Air Force Base, Kaduna. Ahmed Abdullahi Muhammad reports.
After the snapshots to document the memories of this day, they slow marched into the arena where each one of them is expected to be conferred diploma and higher national diploma in the maintenance of the assets of Nigeria's air power. Making their graduation ceremony a special one was the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi.
If I were to be in charge of budgeting, would be to give the Air Force and other military departments the necessary funds to improve on the studies.
Like you can see, in the recent time, the Air Force has been funding more than before. So we'll continue to go in that direction.
This set of airmen and women are expected to turn around the processes of aircraft maintenance in the Air Force and also domesticate the manufacture of spare parts. This gladdens the heart of the Chief of Air Staff as his vision for the Air Force is being realized.
So what we are doing is, over the last 2 years, is building capacity, making sure that our officers and men are properly trained and they have the right skills.
The Air Force Institute of Technology was established in 1977 and later accredited by the National Board for Technical Education to award national diploma. It was named the Air Force Institute of Technology AFIT in 2008. In Kaduna, Abdullahi Muhammad, NTA News.
And away from the Nigerian Air Force, about 500 VVF survivors treated and trained in different vocational skills at the Jahun VVF Center, Jigawa State, have benefited from different empowerment packages by the Fistula Foundation. Minister of Women Affairs, Hajia Aisha Jummai Al-Hassan, appreciated the initiative aimed at addressing some family issues within the society. Hawa Haliru Haruna reports.
Items distributed include grains grinding machines, sewing machines, wrappers, goods, mattresses, and furniture for the newly remarried VVF survivors. Minister Aisha Jummai Al-Hassan commended the effort of Fistula Foundation and Doctors Without Borders for the synergy built to help treat VVF cases in the state.
The 4 key objectives of both the DIP and NAWEB are to provide microloans to men and women, to reduce poverty among rural dwellers, especially women, and provide skills development, training, and business support.
Jigawa State Commissioner of Women Affairs, Hajia Dansuri, said the state government has been contributing tirelessly to the care and well-being of the admitted VVF patients as it provides food and all necessary needs for their upkeep. Representatives of Fistula Foundation and Doctors Without Borders commended Jigawa State government for the privilege given to them to operate in the state. They said 108 women were trained to go around communities to educate women on causes of VVF and how to prevent its occurrence. Some of the beneficiaries interviewed appreciated the items and assured of doing what is expected of them. From Dusi, Hawa Halar Haruna, NTA News.
The Jigawa State government has stepped up efforts to boost groundnut production with the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the government and an agricultural company to ensure massive cultivation of the commodity across the state. Habibu Hussaini has the details.
The federal government's diversification agenda through agriculture compels states like Jigawa to consider the cultivation of groundnut in commercial quantity to boost its economic base. Under the Memorandum of Understanding between the state government and Olam Nigeria Limited, with the support of International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, more than 3,500 hectares will be cultivated with an expected yield of 1.2 tons per hectare. About 3,000 farmers were identified to key into the program, 60 of whom have already been trained. Gamna Muhammad Badr Abakar said, the partnership will facilitate massive production of the commodity.
Happy to say that most of the farmers in our clusters today achieve a 1.2 tons per hectare on the average on groundnut, which is, I think, the best in the country today.
Representative of International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, Peter Okomo, and General Manager Olam Nigeria Limited, Mayank Jangrin, said the overall objective is to boost groundnut production in the country. They said Nigeria is the third largest producer of groundnut in the world, but none is exported to help improve the nation's revenue. They appreciated the state government's cluster farming approach, saying Nigeria will soon start exporting the commodity in large quantity. From Duse, Habib Hussein, NTA News.
And that's it from here. We're back to Lorraine Abuja for more on Nationwide. Good evening.
Thank you, Zile. Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, has been commended for significant improvements in the science and technology sector since 2015. The commendation, which came from the Nigeria Society of Engineers, singled out the sustenance of the nation's 5 satellites in the orbit as a quantum leap into space technology development. Science correspondent Kirian Umayu reports.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers is particularly concerned about the need to have a centralized management for the nation's space agencies. Vice President of the Society, Tasi Wudil, decried a situation where two space organizations in the country are managed by separate ministries. He called for the launch of more communication satellites as critical infrastructure that aid national development.
I wish to thank you for personally championing the negotiation for increased budgetary allocation to science and technology. Science and technology is very expensive, but very rewarding for any country that can summon the courage to significantly invest in science and technology innovation, research and development.
Dr. Boneano informed the delegation that the ministry will not relent in the promotion of space technology.
We will continue to support NASDA and make sure that all the necessary infrastructural work that NASDA requires to domesticate space science and technology in the country, that is provided.
The delegation is made up of members of Space Division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Kurian Umayo, NTA News.
At a time, the country is striving to maximize production and utilization of potential in every sector of the economy. A Nigerian-born IT expert, Hashiru Idris Daura, says digital revolution is a plausible option. Hashiru contends that the present state of the power infrastructure in the country should not constitute a deterrent. He spoke in an exclusive interview with Ogechi Paul.
Hashiru Idris Daura is a household name in Saudi Arabia, where he works as a lead solutions integration architect for global enterprise services with one of the renowned IT companies in the world. He prides as the first and only West African to advance to the level achieved in information technology. With specialties in e-governance, country digitization, and other IT solutions and adversaries, he says Nigeria needs to refocus, reprioritize, and place premium on digitizing its economy for effective planning as well as black leakages.
Government will be able to have that information, right, with the right context, then they will be able to put certain set of controls and make informed decision, right? Even budget will be faster, security will be much faster, right? Putting in welfare will be faster, right? Education, you will be able to have clear information on how many people are or how many students are at every stage of their educational career, right? And you'll be able to know how can you help youth, how can you help the elderly, how can you put a lot of other welfare into the country.
Hashiru draws inspiration from the Saudi country digitization program, which can be adapted to create jobs and provide alternative revenue sources.
We don't have anything that tracks a record of an infant that's born today up to the person who just graduated out of college and starting a job. We don't have that, right? How do you do that? How do you take care of that? How are you going to be able to say that I have this number of citizens that are jobless, out of job, or we have this number of citizens that just graduated out of college?
Hashiru from Katsina State started off with Bachelor of Engineering, obtained from the Bayero University, Kano, but has since added masters and other IT professional certificates from institutions in the United States. Ogechi Paul, NTA News.
As Nigeria's democratization journey continues with a special focus on the 2019 general elections, all relevant institutions must correct the mistakes of the past in order to strengthen the process. Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, gave the advice when he played host to the Institute for Legal Studies in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports.
While Nigeria's democracy is growing with every democratic process, it is imperative to engage political actors and institutions in order to achieve a hitch-free election. It is in view of this that the National Institute for Legislative Studies seeks to partner with NTA as they engage political actors towards ensuring a hitch-free 2019 election.
We work seriously with you, to make sure that our democracy thrives. The legislative arm of government has to be strengthened. It has to be understood.
We can put our heads together to ensure that we
conduct this election in a manner that by the end of the time, the end of the election, everything will be peaceful, orderly, and transparent, and credible.
The Director General advised the delegation to do more on educating the public about the activities of the Parliament. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Security matters on the burner as we join our Port Harcourt Network Center, and Miriam is our guide. Hello, Miriam. It's over to you.
Welcome to Port Harcourt. Residents of Rukboku area along the Alu Link Road, Port Harcourt, have commended Governor Nyesom Wike for heeding to their cry and repairing their road, which has been in a deplorable condition. This was at the inauguration of the road by Governor Wike. Ogedinyekwere reports.
The Rukboku Alu Link Road is one of the major link roads in the state, providing shortcut to Ada George Road, Choba, Omagwa, and airport areas. The road was in a deplorable state for years, but with the intervention of the present administration to rehabilitate the road, vehicular movements within and around Rukboku has been made easier. Inaugurating the road, Governor Wike said that the project is a fulfillment of his campaign promises to the entire people of Rukboku.
I said I would do Omagwa and the entire road, not this road. I don't do them. I don't do them. One commissioner. I promise when I say this road, Rukboku to Alu will do them. I don't do them. We don't do them.
Caretaker Committee Chairman, Obiakpo Local Government Area, Paddy Innocent, commended the governor for his kind gesture. He noted that good road network provides economic benefits.
It's left to the community to take care of it, keep the drainage clean, so as to allow the free flow of water anytime there's rain.
Different women groups and cultural display added color to the event.
With the inauguration of Rukboku Alu Link Road, no doubt will enhance and facilitate productivity and profitability in the area. From Rukboku Link Road, Yanukume Ulolo, NTA News.
That report was actually from Ulolo. And now to our next story. The Commissioner of Police, Rivers State Command, Zaki Ahmed, has called for synergy between the police, the traditional institution, and other stakeholders to enhance the security in Rivers State. CP Ahmed made the call during the inauguration of the Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, at Okrika Division. Robinson Derataide has the details.
The visit of Commissioner of Police Zaki Ahmed to Okrika Division was aimed at sustaining the peaceful atmosphere in the area. He further sought more cooperation with the Okrika Divisional Council of Chiefs, led by its chairman, Chief Sunday Amir Simaka Kalawolo, stressing that no meaningful development can drive without peace.
The Nigerian police, being a lead agency in the internal security architecture, is saddled with the responsibility of providing an enabling environment for all to go about their local businesses, detect crime, apprehend and proceed against offenders in law court.
CP Ahmed and his entourage was later hosted at the Okrika Local Government Secretariat Hall, where he inaugurated the newly elected members of the Police Community Relations Committee. Some of the stakeholders at the event commended the CP for his effort in maintaining peace in Rivers State and assured him of their readiness to work with the Nigerian police for the development of the state.
For PCRC to be able to mobilize this crowd, and I've waited all day long, and to drag the CP to a divisional event is a no-mean feat. So I praise you, keep it up. People have come to watch you, people have come to see you, people have a lot of confidence in you.
From Okrika in Rivers State, Robinson Derataide, NTA News.
The incessant rainfall in Port Harcourt metropolis, which has continued unabated, has resulted in the flooding of most parts of the city, with some residents of Odu, Rumigbo, and some streets in Rumomoy, Obiakpo local government area rendered homeless. Dianikume Ulolo, who visited the areas, reports that if nothing is done urgently, the people will be totally cut off.
Although Chualu Street in Rumigbo and some streets in Umomoi areas of Port Harcourt have been submerged with flood water, over 135 houses were affected, with properties worth millions of naira destroyed. As a result of the heavy downpour for over 4 days, residents of Odu Street, flood has rendered them homeless, as many residents are already packing out from their houses.
As you can see, we are already living like aquatic animals in a land that human beings are supposed to live like a normal human being.
Since on Friday last week, we experienced this flood. You can see my tenants, you can see everywhere, they are out from their houses.
Enter inside my this night, you will pity me. All my goods and everything. What I have overtaken it for nothing.
I'm planning to take my family back to the hotel. How do I continue to pay for hotel?
Some churches in the area have temporarily relocated to host services in hotels, while some church members were seen evacuating water with their pumping machine. NTA News also observed that most of the water channels in the areas have been obstructed with erection of structures on the canals.
The landlords here, all they did to block, they sold this land to people and they built house on top of the water. These buildings you're seeing here, this fence, this building, are all sitting on the waterway.
Presently, as I'm talking, I'm on exile.
From Odu Street in Rumigbo, Obiakpo local government area of River State, Yanukume Ulolo, NTA News.
You're still watching the NTA Nationwide. It's now back to Laurie in Abuja.
Thank you, Miriam. A coalition of Arewa youths, in consultation with the former Abia State Governor Ojus Okalu, says its members are reaching a common ground on unity of the country and there is no cause for alarm on quit notice again. This is the position taken after long hours of meeting with the former governor in Abuja. Edino Justice reports.
From the exchange of mantras and smiles on their faces to the Nigerian green bands on their necks instead of their insignia, it was certain that the group has reached a common ground on a united Nigeria. The leadership of the four northern groups, led by Yerima Shetima, said the talk on reviewing the quit notice has advanced and expressed satisfaction with the progress of the discussion.
We strongly believe that Nigeria is for us and Nigeria belongs to everybody, and in one spirit we believe strongly that we are all equal in this project. Here we have discussed and we discussed extensively since morning, and in fact our discussion was very, very fruitful. Events and time change a lot of things.
I'm an entrepreneur, and they might not realize what they have done to themselves, but the GDP of the area have grossly gone down. Cameroon, Chad, Niger used to buy every goods from Aba. But how many of them are going there today?
The former governor, Ojus Okalu, also hinted that most southern leaders were not in support of any call for secession, that they are in talks with the different groups in the southeast.
I'm sure we are going to speak to Nnamdi Kanu one day, and he will listen. He has no alternative.
He assured southerners residing in the northern part of the country to go about their businesses that there's no cause for alarm. In Abuja, Edino Justice, NTA News.
Let's now join Uche Nwizu for stories trending around the globe. Well, we'll bring you that foreign report in subsequent bulletins. And now sports. Home-based Super Eagles set to play friendlies ahead of African Nations Championship qualifier as Nigerian-born Enahoro soars high in Germany. Kenne Imagodike is our guide on sports updates.